Chats Football. So today's talk is going to be on Manchester United maintaining unbeaten throughout 2026. And it does sound a bit exaggerated, but let's see just how long Michael Carrick can keep it up for because he's been doing amazing with this Manchester United side. So let's see just how long he can do it for. I'm going to be putting this Q&A here and we shall find out how long can Man United go unbeaten? Okay, there we go. And let's see just how long that'll be possible for Michael Carrick's Manchester United. So I've got it there. All right, so it's interesting to see. Like I said, I'm super happy with what's happening right now at Manchester United, but my question is, how long can we go unbeaten for? Okay, there we go. That is the question. So let me know. You guys let me know just how long it can go for. Right now, it seems like we can go for a very long time. And that's exactly what we are seeing from Manchester United and Michael Carrick. So I want to know just exactly when the streak will end. Hopefully it doesn't end anytime soon. But from what I'm seeing is that we are, well, the Q&A doesn't want to show up. Let me try and fix it. Okay, so you let me know just how long it will last for. I'm super happy with Michael Carrick. Even though we haven't made any signings as of yet, we are still going ahead and winning games. And that is the character that we've been showing all along, ever since we've lost Ruben Amorim. I don't know if some of you would consider it a loss, but for me, what's gone is gone at the moment, and we shall focus on Michael Carrick, and he is doing just well with Manchester United at the moment. So, how long can Man United go unbeaten? Manchester United are also the only team in the Premier League who are unbeaten this 2026, this new year that is. So, I do understand that it is only February, and yes, there's still a long way to go. We have about 14 games left, and we're going to be having a lot of ups and downs. Look, I don't want to get carried away with these victories, but I am happy with what I'm seeing at the moment, and I know that things are going to get better as we go because we are gelling as a club. We are getting to the system, getting back to that United DNA that we know of, and things are looking good for Michael Carrick. So we are still the only team in the Premier League that is unbeaten, and I know that we are going to be facing some obstacles, but for now, it looks good. It looks good. Right, G Bell says this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section. J Plays says Arsenal are gonna win Prem. All right, who knows? Who knows? It was a very promising victory against Chelsea yesterday. So Arsenal are looking good, and I personally think they are going to win the Premier League. Myself, as a Manchester United supporter, because they are a very tough club to beat at the moment. Carla Hutchinson says 12. How long can Man United go unbeaten for? 12 games. Can Manchester United go 12 games unbeaten? Wow. Wow. Imagine that. We are still struggling to make it 5 games unbeaten. And some of you are saying 12 games. Carla Hutchinson said 12 games. Who knows, guys? Who knows? 12 games unbeaten will surely get us to that second spot, if not first, depending on how things go. But like I said, What you actually think about Amorim? J Play says, well, Amorim was a good coach, a very good coach for Sporting, but his philosophy just wasn't right for Manchester United, and I don't think he would have done what Carrick is doing right now, getting the team to play in this sort of style, this sort of charisma. So I think he's a decent coach, but just not with Manchester United. With Amorim, we were going in a sort of a streak where we weren't losing games, but it was more of draws than wins with Ruben Amorim. With Michael Carrick, we were seeing something different. We were actually collecting all 3 points, and drawing consistently after a while, it does make it frustrating. I was getting frustrated with the draws that we were having with Ruben Amorim, and it seemed like it was never ending. So right now, I'm happy with this 100% record for Michael Carrick. You know, we've got 9 points right now of 3 games, so that is good for us. And like I said, I'm super happy at the moment. I don't know who's going to be manager next season, but right now, being Manchester United, being the laughing stock, to being this team that is being sort of, I don't want to say dominant, but a team that is being feared. Old Trafford seems like it's been feared now as of late. Teams are scared to come to Old Trafford because they know exactly who is in charge right now, and it's Michael Carrick. And I'm a Barca fan. We're satisfied with Rashford's performance, and some rumors say that he will be back. What do you think of Rashford? Well, I was speaking about Rashford. I think it was yesterday. I don't think Rashford will be coming back to Manchester United. Even though Manchester United are going in a decent sort of form at the moment, I just don't see Rashford returning to Manchester United. Not this season, that is. I see Barcelona triggering that release clause of 26 million to 30 million, that is. So you can keep Rashford, mate. He's doing good for you. I don't see why we would ruin that, even though Michael Carrick does want to have Rashford sort of play for him. Now that we are utilizing wingers much more than we've done under Ruben Amorim or our previous managers. So I don't see him coming back. Um, Rashford is amazing, all right? Just not for Manchester United. I highly doubt it, and you heard it here first. Rashford to Man United is a no-no. Because if he was to come back, it would have already happened this January already. So come the summer, I don't think we are going to be seeing Rashford in a Manchester United shirt. Hope that answers you, because Rashford does want to win titles, and I don't think United are going to be winning silverware this season, unless some sort of miracle comes up and we end up winning the Premier League, because that's the only competition that we're in. But that will take a lot, super lot, from Michael Carrick's Manchester United. I'm Gaming says, do you think United can go 5-5? Well, mate, we are headed that way. We are 3-3. We play Spurs soon. And if we beat Spurs, then I will really, really have my hopes high. Because after that, we play a struggling West Ham side. So that will build our momentum, Even though our momentum is up at the moment, the team morale is up in the air right now. Things are going good with Manchester United. We beat the top 2 in the league. So that is a 80% possibility of going 5-5 and then having the United strand cut his hair. Having him chop that hair off, giving him that buzz cut, that taper. So hopefully we can go on and win 5-5. And when we do win 5-5, I'm going to celebrate it so much. Like, I have to celebrate it, as a United fan. I don't see any United fan not celebrating it, because there's just been a lot of banter towards United for not getting these 5 wins in 5. But it also depends on injuries. If we can keep players fit, then we're definitely getting the 5 wins in 5. So it comes down to that, injuries and just performance-wise. It's basically just it's up to how much we really wanted, because you can't tell me these players don't look at the media, they don't go on Instagram, on Facebook, so they have to see the banter that goes on. They know who United Strand is. He's got his streak going on with his hair being long. So I'm sure the players themselves are going to want to get 5-5 and see this sort of banter era end. But let's see. Like I said, the last time United got 5-5 was with Eric Ten Hag, and that was a long time ago. All right, so I hope that answers your question. If you just joined the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow the community and let's make Manchester United great again. We are heading that way, right? And I much appreciate it. Hopefully everybody's having a good evening, a good day from whatever part of the world you're from, and good evening from the side of South Africa. Where are my fellow Manchester United supporters? I'm Gaming says, if you can go for any player. Sorry, before that, I want to read. J Play says, Garnacho overrated. I actually shot a video earlier on about Garnacho, so it's on my channel, and he's very much overrated. But I think the overratings come from Manchester United. It comes from us because we had Garnacho as an academy player. He came from Atletico Madrid. He did what he needed to do. And we thought, wow, okay, the next Cristiano Ronaldo Regan. And then all of a sudden came to the club. He got a big head. And then he just thought that he could do whatever he wants, and that was what, at 18, 19 years of age, 20. He's only 21 now, so he's got a big ego. He needs to learn still. So yes, he's not Lamine Yamal to be going the way that he's going about. So he needs to relax. If he wants to see game time, if he wants to see things change, he needs to change his attitude. And I'm just super glad that Garnacho has left. I'm glad that Garnacho has left this club. He was just toxic. I like Garnacho. I did like him at a stage, but things just weren't meant to be, He just got a little bit too cocky, too arrogant, and that's what happens. That's what happens to young players who think they're just above everybody. So what I like about Manchester United is the fact that they got rid of him fast. Ruben Amorim also got rid of him, and that is someone that we need to thank. So goodbye, Ruben Amorim, and thank you for getting rid of Alejandro Garnacho. And he's been doing, I won't say terrible, but he's been doing bad for Chelsea, as you can see. I would say we dodged a bullet there in Alejandro Garnacho. So good luck to him and good riddance. Let's go down. I'm Gaming says, if you can go for any player for the summer transfer window, who would you go for? Honestly, I would go for a lot of players right now, but like I've been saying, we need a new number 6. We are losing Casemiro here, so what would you do as a United fan? You'd want to go for a Casemiro replacement, Somebody who can help us in the midfield, somebody who can control the midfield, like a Caicedo or, a Busquets. I'm not saying we should be signing Busquets because he's obviously nearing retirement, but we should be signing someone who can dominate that midfield, like a Rodri. Even though Rodri is not in the best of forms right now, but we need somebody who can play next to Kobe Mino, somebody who can complement Kobe Mino, and he can take control of games and he can just keep that United midfield structured. And that is something that we're going to be missing when we do lose Casemiro. And I'm just highly thankful at the fact that Casemiro has announced his departure now already, now in January. And that way, Manchester United are going to be able to resolve the issue. Hopefully, we are going to be doing some scouting right now because that's what we need. Had Casemiro left it late and he only told us in the summer that he was leaving, then we would have a lot more to panic about, because it would have been short notice. But now that we've got the full half end of the season, we can actually go out and sort of plan things out properly, get the right replacement, and hopefully, I wouldn't say we can go for like because at the moment I don't see a like for like with Casemiro. He's an exceptional player, five-time Champions League winner. So right now, my dream player would be, I would say, Elliot Anderson or an Adam Wharton. One of those two. One of those two. But it would take a while for them to actually become the sort of number six that would go out there and actually dominate the midfield and control games for Manchester United because remember, they are still young. They don't have the experience. And what would be clutch for Manchester United is to have somebody with experience like a Casemiro in that midfield who can call the shots and, like I said, stabilize the midfield. So, yes, I'll be much happy with that. Even a Joshua Kimmich, somebody extravagant, somebody good, somebody prolific would be well because I don't know who was responsible for the Casemiro signing, but the person that said, "Look here, let's go get Casemiro," did amazing with that. He did amazing because imagine we didn't have a Casemiro sitting in that midfield, what would happen? We would be relying on Ugarte. And we know that Ugarte hasn't sort of adapted to the Premier League yet. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the issue is, but having Casemiro there was the best thing Manchester United could have done. And the only issue right now is obviously his wages. His wages are a bit too high, but it seems like it's also from Casemiro's side, wanting to actually leave Manchester United. I feel like he knows that if he stays a bit longer, things are going to turn out sideways for him, knowing that he's aging. He's going to 32? I feel like 32 is still super young. It's still super young. But you can see with Casemiro that he's actually losing that sort of pace. So we need somebody who's more mobile in that position. But having Casemiro is a super plus. So Adam Wharton or Elliot Anderson would be good. Jay Blaze says, well, you are from South Africa. Are you also fond of cricket? I'm guessing that's what you're asking. I do watch cricket, but not on a regular basis. I play cricket as well. I was a fast bowler, but yes, I do enjoy the game. But football is my heart. Football is life. What about you? Guys, if you just joined the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow the community together. Like I've been saying, Manchester United are on the rise right now. 2026, we unbeaten, even though it's only February. But Manchester United, the only team in the Premier League who haven't lost. So let me just see here. Man United have the current longest streak in Prem without a loss in 7 games. We are 7 games unbeaten. 7 games unbeaten. The last time we lost was versus Villa. And that was in the 21st of December last year, 2025. And that was under Ruben Amorim. We lost against Aston Villa. So guys, this year we started off fresh. Manchester United hasn't lost. We have something to boast about, even though we are only playing in the Premier League. We aren't playing in any other competition. But still, wow. Premier League is competitive. Manchester United are a hard team to face right now. A hard team to get points from. So, big ups to that. Zabozi says, what is your prediction for Spurs on Saturday? My prediction for Spurs... Well, I think that we are going to, I don't want to say we're going to draw, but I got a feeling we're going to win. I've also got a feeling that we might just draw again with Spurs, because Spurs have this habit of turning up against Manchester United for some reason. So they are really a tough side to face. You saw that against Manchester City. They didn't even have their full squad. So I'll be pretty sure that players will be returning for them this weekend. But I'm going to say 2-1. I'm going to say Manchester United 2-1 versus Spurs. We are playing at Old Trafford. That is one of the things that is keeping me confident right now. What about you? What are your predictions? But I can also see a draw as well, you know. But with Carrick Ball, Carrick seems like he just wants wins. You know, he's not playing games for draws. He's out here for actually, he's going for the full throttle. He wants a win. And that's what I like about the attitude of this new Manchester United. We don't sit back. We know how to attack. Like you saw against Fulham, we conceded 2 goals. We were 2-2. And then bam, we just started going forward after that, you know. So we are playing risky football, but we're also playing very conservative. And that is good. That has been good. And that is the Manchester United DNA. And I feel like that's also one of the reasons, one of the main reasons why we are unbeaten. You know, we make it tough for teams that way. So yes, the last time we lost was against Aston Villa, and that was against a good Unai Emery side. You know, they are third on the Premier League right now, so it makes sense. We didn't just lose to any team. Guys, if you just joined the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Much appreciated, and don't forget to hit that like button as well. Welcome to the live show. Okay, then we got Tasrak. Garnacho looks like a crackhead. He's been acting like one too, I would say. But yeah, let's move on. Hopefully, I hope for all the best with him, but away from Manchester United, that is. I Am Gaming says, do you want Cunha and Mbeumo to start together? Well, we saw that against Fulham, and it's going to be difficult. You know, it's going to be difficult because we've got Ahmed, then we've got Sesko as well, and then we've got Mbeumo as well as an out of position Patrick Dorgu, who, when he's fit, we know he's been playing well. So right now, I'm okay with having Cunha and Mbeumo starting. You know, Cunha on the left, Mbeumo in the middle, and then Ahmad on the right. I'm okay with that, because having Cunha cut from that left side is very effective for Manchester United and Michael Carrick. You saw that, especially with the goal that he scored against Arsenal. You know, he cut in from that left side, got into his right foot, and bam. And that's Matheus Cunha for you. I feel like that's where he plays best. Otherwise, yes, I'm enjoying that. But my biggest worry is what's going to happen when Patrick Dorgu gets back, because I remember Matheus Cunha not really getting minutes because of Patrick Dorgu's form, you know. So right now I'm super happy, but will Patrick Dorgu go back to his natural position, and that's that left back position, or is he going to be sticking in the wings for Manchester United on the wings? So what happens with that? I'm not sure. And that's a positive headache for Michael Carrick to have, you know. We are very blessed in attack, but we know that our situation, our problem just comes from the middle of the park. And we haven't resolved that this January, but apparently we are waiting until the end of the season to be making signings. So we are working on that. And obviously now in January, it's been tough to be signing, especially key players from other teams like your Adam Whartons, your Carlos Baleba. So in the summer, that's when we're going to have most of the answers. Okay, then Tarsak says manure and cheese. Okay. Lance says, what's your thoughts about Epstein files? Well, my thoughts about the Epstein files would be that now that I read about, that I heard about Todd Boehly being in it, that's been something that has shocked me. So apparently Todd Boehly is in the Epstein files. But that's the news that's circulating at the moment. So Chelsea are really going through a tough time at the moment, you know? Imagine Todd Bully being in the Epstein files. That's hectic. That is very controversial. Um, Tarsak says go to the German French league for deep playing midfield. Yes, the German and French league will definitely get you a proper solid holding midfielder. They're good in that, you know. And just the other day, I was thinking to myself, imagine Manchester United had signed a fresh Marco Verratti type of player, you know. What a player! What a player! He was well. He was doing well for PSG. I know that he's Italian, but because he was playing for PSG for such a long time, he was doing so good. I thought to myself, wow, imagine we had a Verratti as a number 6. What a player he'd be for Manchester United back in the days. Okay. Guys, if you just joined the channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on Manchester United's unbeaten run so far this season. And I know we're going to be getting a lot of hate for that. But we are doing what we do best, and that is winning games. That is winning games. I'm very curious to see just how long Michael Carrick can do it for, you know. But yes, 14 games left until the season ends. So let's see. We've got Spurs now. Then we've got West Ham. Then we've got Everton as well. Then we've got a Crystal side. And then we're moving on to March, where we've still got Newcastle United, we've got Aston Villa. So there's still some big games to play, guys. There's still big games to play. We still have Chelsea to play. We still got a reverse fixture against Liverpool. So guys, there's still a lot to play. But obviously our biggest games are going to come up against Liverpool, Chelsea, Aston Villa, as well as I would put there Newcastle United and obviously Spurs. But yes, I feel like with Manchester United, we've been doing well this season. We've been beating the top 6 teams. You know, we beat Chelsea, we beat Liverpool, we beat Man City, we beat Arsenal. We've been just winning, you know. We are a winning team. And the feeling of waking up knowing that you support Manchester United is just a wonderful feeling at the moment. Even though we've got owners who are very selfish. You know, imagine just how much how much more we could be winning knowing that we've got owners who know how to spend well as well. Because clubs are bolstering their squad, they're getting new players in, but what are Manchester United doing? You know, we are relying on the players that we have at the moment. Those are the things we need to consider. Right, going on. If you can keep only one of Dogo or Mainu, if I must keep Dogo or Mainu, who would be? Says I am gaming. If I could keep Dogo or Mainu, definitely I'm keeping Kobe Mainu. Cheers, Dogo. All right, then Turner says Messi or Ronaldo best player. I'm going to say Lionel Messi, even though I'm a Manchester United fan, you know. But Cristiano Ronaldo is definitely not far off. Name a car for an edit. Kai Ewing, big dog. Dogo benching. Why United ain't selling Mason Mount? He's a liability. Well, there's a lot of talks on Mason Mount, and some are saying that he's been out of favor with Michael Carrick because he's been getting more game time with Ruben Amorim. But, like I've been saying it before, Mason Mount is a very vital player for us, you know. If Bruno Fernandes had to leave next season, then who are we going to be playing in that sort of position? You know, I feel like we would turn our heads to Mason Mount. And Mason Mount is the type of player who will win you big games. So hopefully Mason Mount can get more game time. And I just like Mason Mount as a player, you know. I feel like we need Mason Mount. We can't get rid of Mason Mount. And hopefully we can see him play for England one day once again. So let's see just how much game time he gets for Manchester United. Hopefully he can get some game time because our squad is stacked at the moment. And one of the main reasons why he's not really getting game time is the obvious. We are only in one competition at the moment. We play one game a week. So can you blame Michael Carrick? You know? Um, and I see Mason Mount as a number 10. And right now, Bruno Fernandes is obviously occupying that position. There is no other player better. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for Mason Mount. And I feel like he loves the club as well. I don't see Mason Mount asking for a transfer request or asking to leave the club. So we need him, you know, we need him for squad depth as well. So keep Mason Mount. I support Man U, says Mustafa. Hopefully you do. And guys, if you just joined the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and let's stay tuned. You know, let's make Manchester United great again. BB Man says City City. I'm Gaming says you mentioned a number 6. Kimmich is virtually unobtainable. He's pegged to be the next captain at Bayern. I feel like a more realistic signing would be Angelo Stiller. Guys, I'm hearing a lot of Angelo Stiller, but I'm not seeing any moves from Manchester United. You know, I don't think we're going to be going for Angelo Stiller because I also heard that he was linked to Real Madrid at a stage. So I feel like those are just rumors for now. I don't see us signing Angelo Stiller. I feel like our signings are going to come from England, either Baleba, Elliot Anderson, or a Adam Wharton. I don't see us signing anybody from Germany at the moment. You know. X Football says 2 more wins. Yes, 2 more wins, then it's 5 in 5. What a milestone that's going to be for us, you know? And wow, I can't believe we are saying this. You know, the last time we won 3 games in a row was back with Amorim, but that was a while back. I think it was last year, February sometime. X-Football says Adam Wharton. Yes, Adam Wharton. I really enjoy watching Adam Wharton, and I feel like once he gains that experience, he gains that momentum, playing for Manchester United will just bolster his, I would say his style of play, you know. But yes, with good coaching, Adam Wharton will be a world-class player. I see him getting to the level of a Declan Rice, you know, and I really enjoy watching Declan Rice, but Adam Wharton still has a long way to go. So he deserves a big club. Honestly, he deserves a big club. And Manchester United making the Champions League will just attract more players. So we definitely need to consider making top 4. It's do or die for us. Top 4 or nothing. Top 4, we gain more money, we gain more revenue, meaning that we get to sign players now. Because if we don't make top 4, we won't have the right budget in order for us to be signing the quality players that we need. You know, but I do feel hard done for with the fact that we didn't sign anybody now in January. You know, because I was waiting for somebody to walk in, even though it wasn't a number 6, even if it wasn't a number 6 or whichever position, I was just hoping for us to be signing somebody. And I also heard Diego Dallo's interview claiming that he sees Bruno Fernandes a lot. If he's not seeing his wife, he's seeing Bruno Fernandes, which is quite weird for me. But yeah, he needs to leave my club. He's very passionate, but once he's on the field, what does he do? You know, if he can put all that passion into playing proper football, that would be good for us. But no, he seems to be a passion merchant, you know. But there's also rumors that now that Mazraoui is back, Diego Dallo is performing for some reason. And when Mazraoui was in the AFCON, Dallo was just underperforming. But I see Dallo as, you know, as somebody who needs to be leaving the club. You know, we've had enough of Dallo. Let's be honest, guys. Let's be honest. He's not world class. He's not decent. He doesn't deserve to be playing for a club like Manchester United. Okay, just because he gets selected for Portugal doesn't mean we need to play Diego Dallo. We need to consider that situation as well. He's probably a good guy, you know, off the pitch. Good guy, gets to training early, does his drills, does what he needs to do, but come match day, it's like, no, no. So right back, I think right back also needs an upgrade. Yes, I am gaming. A right back is very much needed. We need a new right back at the moment. But then I'm thinking, who would you bring in as a right back? Who would you bring in for Diego Dallo? There are a few options for that left back position, but the right back position, not so many. I haven't heard any talks of a new right back, so I don't think Manchester United are considering bringing in a right back. You know, I feel like they are happy with Diego Dallo. So then moving on, Carrick is looking to make it 4 wins in a row against Spurs. Yes, 4 wins in a row. And then our fifth game will be the most difficult one. I feel like the fifth game is going to be the most difficult one for us. Okay, moving on. African Sportsy guy says he plays very well for Portugal, but he is awful for us. Exactly. Diego Dallo plays very well for Portugal, comes to United, he forgets how to play football. Guys, if you just joined the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, and we'll be live every day of the week, guys. And I don't understand these rumors about Real Madrid wanting Diego Dallo. I don't believe that. Honestly, I don't believe Real Madrid going after Diego Dallo. It just doesn't make sense. And how much would you sell Diego Dallo for? It's not like his value has gone up ever since he joined Manchester United. So what are we looking at? 15 million, 20 million for Diego Dallo maybe? That could even be a lot. So I don't see him leaving for a high fee anyway. Moving on. So it is said that Carrick has been more focused on passing drills in training more than anything. Carrick has been more focused on passing drills in training more than anything. He is seen as a hands-on coach. Players have been exchanging short, sharp passes before moving on to the next station. Basically, what we saw in the 3 games under him. So, Michael Carrick, Manchester United went to training today. It was broadcasted in the United channel. And I haven't seen the training session, but I'm still yet to see it. But it is said that Carrick has been more focused on training drills. So it's more focused on training drills, in passing drills, that is, short passes, sharp passing. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, you can actually see the sort of development happening on the pitch. Because you saw how well we were passing against City. You saw how well we did it against Arsenal as well, against Fulham. So things are changing, and that is one of the reasons why we still have this 100% record with Michael Carrick. It's that passing, it's that holding of possession that we've been seeing with Manchester United at the moment. And that is why Michael Carrick has been focusing more on that. And like I've been saying, having a former coach, a former midfielder as a coach helps a lot. You know, things would have been so much different with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We'd be playing rock and roll football, basketball football, up and down without actually controlling that midfield. With Michael Carrick, we've been a lot more conservative, and that's what we need, is holding of possession. And we've been doing so, and he's been focusing on that a lot in training. You know, the rondos that we've been seeing, you know, Bruno Cunha, that's because of that. Michael Carrick is focused on keeping possession, as well as obviously playing that risk football that we've been seeing, which is good for us. You know, it's just good for us. I want to see intricate passing. I want to see build-up plays. That's what we need to see from Manchester United. None of that pass back stuff. You know, I hated when we used to pass back under Ruben Amorim, and it just wasn't the style of football we've been wanting to see. But right now we are seeing champagne football, guys. That is what matters. Hakimi for United. Look, I'm gaming. I wouldn't write that off. You know, I wouldn't write that off, because United are known for signing these marquee signings. You know, they might come to an end, but they will come ended at Manchester United. You can see from the previous players that we've signed, like one of them is Casemiro, the likes of Bastian Schweinsteiger. You know, Everybody wants to come and play for Manchester United, so I wouldn't write Hakimi coming for Manchester United. Hakimi will end up stealing opposition's keeper's towels. African Sports says, should Carrick get the permanent job? Well, we are unbeaten this year, so why not? What has he done wrong? Don't break something that is not broken. Carrick, yes, I'm with that. But if we do get options of signing the likes of Luis Enrique, your Carlo Ancelotti's, your Thomas Tuchel, then I'm with that. Someone prolific, someone who knows what it takes to go out and win a Champions League, the Premier League. So I'll be happy with that. But I don't mind what Carrick is doing right now. And it would be really harsh of the board to let him go after a good season, because if he ends up being in the top four, going to the Champions League, are you going to consider just ruining that connection that he has with the Manchester United players right now and going for a new manager? Or would you be willing to stick with Carrick and continue the sort of journey that is going on at the moment, which has been a good one, and we'll be able to tell as the season goes on. I feel like 3 games is just too soon to be calling for Carrick in, but he has a good chance of staying with Manchester United. So like I said, practice was done on keeping the ball under pressure. Work rate has been better. Yes, the work rate has been better with Manchester United players, and you can see it. Our attackers are defending, players are going back, collecting the ball. And that's what we didn't see under Ruben Amorim. But Michael Carrick has implemented that with Manchester United this season, and you can see it. That is why we are doing well. The way we are doing is because the work rate is better. And another thing, I'm glad that we got rid of that bomb squad, the likes of Anthony's, the likes of Hoyland, the likes of Garnacho. It's because they weren't tracking back. They weren't showing us the work rate that we needed to see. And with work rate comes passion. And we can see passion with these guys. With work rate comes passion. So that is why they are keeping us up right now. We are 4th in the Premier League. We are unbeaten. We are 7 games unbeaten. So guys, come on. This is only comes down to work rate. And that is what Carrick has been showing this second spell out here with Manchester United. Okay, let's see. Why you see how happy Arsenal were to get to the final last night, and Chelsea gutted, yet these 2 teams, others said it was in the Tin Pot Cup when Newcastle won it. Okay, we're talking about the Carabao Cup. 2 more games, Dylan says. 2 more games until we are 5 wins in a row. Okay, so with that also comes with our assistant coaches that we have. It comes down to the staff members. They've been doing well. They only care about victories. They care about good football. Assistant manager Jonathan Woodgate. Jonathan Woodgate is with us, of course. Woodgate previously coached Middlesbrough and was Carrick's assistant for 2.5 seasons. Coached Bournemouth as well. Even played with Jason Wilcox at Leeds United. So Jonathan Woodgate, big ups to you. I wasn't familiar with Jonathan Woodgate's game because I thought, who in the world are we bringing here? Jonathan Woodgate. But here we are. Unbeaten 2026 because of Jonathan Woodgate. Each of these guys play a role in this Manchester United staff. So big ups on Carrick for bringing out Jonathan Woodgate. Decent player back in his days. And then we also have Steve Holland. Steve Holland is probably the most experienced one here. Okay, because he worked under Southgate in the England national team as well. And he worked with Chelsea as well. So Steve Holland, a lot of experience and very well respected, So that is also one of the reasons why we've been playing well, is because we got Steve Holland on the side. And it'll be interesting to see if exactly Michael Carrick keeps these guys here alongside him once the season ends. If he does get the full-time job, Does Michael Carrick keep these guys alongside him, the likes of Steve Holland, the likes of Jonathan Woodgate, or he opts for a different assistant? And then we've also got Travis Binion. Travis Binion has been working as a coach with United's under 21 and was alongside Darren Fletcher as well, while Darren Fletcher was interim. So Travis Binion, he's doing well with the youngsters as well. He's doing well with the under 21s, and they've decided to bring him through. So big ups to Travis Binion. And then we also got Craig Mawson. Craig Mawson is the United's goalkeeping coach and has worked with Carrick previously. So big ups to Craig Mawson. The fact that Commons is doing well, it's because of Craig Mawson. You know, we have a decent goalkeeping coach in Craig Mawson. And then we obviously have Johnny Evans. You know, Johnny Evans retired just last season that is, and now he is here helping Michael Carrick. So guys, these people can't go unnoticed here. And that is one of the main reasons why we are doing well, why we are seeing the football that we are seeing with Manchester United. So 14 games left. It's up to us now. Can we keep up with the pressure? Because being unbeaten, going on a winning streak is a lot of pressure, you know, but it seems that we are getting used to that pressure. We are getting used to winning under Michael Carrick. And having a captain like Bruno Fernandes helps a lot as well. You know, he's a good captain. We've seen a lot of good words from the previous sporting from previous fans, and people from Sporting have spoken a lot about Bruno Fernandes being a good coach as well. You know, so these things help, having Casemiro there. So we do have some experience, you know, and losing Casemiro will be something very difficult for us because experience is what we need in this football club. So guys, let me know your thoughts, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Okay. Right, guys, so that is it for me today. Manchester United 2026 unbeaten. This weekend we play against Spurs. Can we go out there at Old Trafford and win another game under Michael Carrick? Can we do it? You know, can we keep up the good form? Can the likes of Bruno Fernandes keep up their form? You know, glory, glory, Man United. After that, we got West Ham. Can we maintain in that top 4 position? These are all the questions we got to ask ourselves, you know. But time will prevail. We'll see if we are moving in the right direction. And let's say things don't go our side now against Spurs this weekend. Are we going to turn our backs on Michael Carrick? Are we going to lose that confidence? Are we going to lose that trust that we have in Michael Carrick right now? So it takes real character. You know, if you're a loyal supporter, you know that this is just part of the journey with Manchester United Carrick. So let's stay supporting Manchester United because the good days are coming, guys. The good days are coming, and we can see it because the football that is being played there doesn't lie. You know, it's not that we are just getting these 3 points. We are getting 3 points with good performances as well. So I'm seeing a change. Hopefully you're seeing a change. And I just feel like we've been progressing and things are looking much better. I'm just concerned that some of the players not getting game time. And one of the other things is that we were talking about Mason Mount. Apparently Mason Mount wasn't seen at training today. Mason Mount wasn't seen at training today, so I think he might be injured. So he could be missing the game against Spurs. Matthias de Ligt is still out as well with his back problem. We've got Joshua Zirkzee, who is back as well. And that's how it's looking. Otherwise, everybody's fit. And once we can maintain a fit squad, we can see this team doing well as well. It's all about who stays fit and, yes, who we have performing for Manchester United. But I would also like to see a lot of players that are on the bench getting some game time, you know, like your Shea Lacey's. I would like to see Aiden Haven again. But because we are only playing one game a week, it is very difficult. It is very difficult to rotate the squad. You know, you are going to get some players that are unhappy, but it's just the manner, the nature that we're in at the moment. One game, we're only playing 41 games a season. One of the major issues why we didn't sign anybody is because we feel like we don't need to be signing players now that we only play one game a week. And it makes sense. It sort of makes sense. But um, we do need some backup players as well. So let's see what happens. Hopefully we can keep the momentum. We can keep this fighting spirit. And let's see what Spurs have for us this weekend. So Spurs have been doing well in the last game, that is. So let's see if Manchester United can actually keep the winning momentum. Christian Harpoon says, how are you? I love your videos. Please say hi to me. My name is Christian. Hi there. Good to see you. Greetings. Guys, if you just joined the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And I'm going to be saying good night to you all. Tomorrow I'll be live again. So tune in and let's talk ball. Let's talk football. We are nearing the weekend, so Manchester United approaching. Hopefully we don't hear of any new injuries. And thank you so much. See you guys. Have a good evening further. Goodbye.